What's up, my brothers from another mother? Today's video comes to you from the community tab of the YouTube channel. I'm really starting to like how they've put this thing together. On the homepage of the channel, of course, you can find it under community. I find it shows up really well on the subscription feed on mobile devices. It's great for doing surveys. It's great for taking topic suggestions from you guys. So let's dive right into the topic suggestions. I'm going to do the most popular ones that were voted thumbs up by you guys. To make sure you don't miss out on these, make sure you smash the subscription button and bang the notification bell so you can participate with the community. All right, next question comes from Zain, and he says, how to double your wealth within 2 years and the best recommendation for investments. Man, everybody wants a fucking shortcut in life. Okay. How would I double my... Okay, first of all, that's a long stretch. That's a really long stretch. I mean, I could double a penny by walking down the street and picking up another penny, no problem at all. But I assume you're talking about something more significant like 10 grand, 100 grand, and turning that into 20 or $200,000. So there is no crystal ball that I can look into or magic wand that I can wave or time machine that I can travel into the future at. So my best bets would be to split it up amongst about 4 to 5 different things that have the best upswing advantage. I'm more of a swing kind of investor. I didn't really notice this until my brother pointed it out when we were talking about some stocks that were, I mean, you should have a community that you can rely on when it comes to things like this, whether it's a family member or friends or an investment club or something like that. You should have people in your life that you can rely on that know what the hell they're doing, that can give you good solid advice, and that you can then go and execute on. And executing matters. You know, talking about it is one thing, but executing matters. So I had this conversation with my brother. We're going through a bunch of stocks. In Canada, weed stocks have been awesome. I bought one in my retirement portfolio that went up like 370%. That's pretty good. I mean, I could have bought a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Litecoin and gone up anywhere from, you know, a few thousand% to 9,000%, I think was Litecoin's gain last year at its peak. But, you know, you could also lose it all. But you got to be aware of swing items is my approach anyway. What's the next big thing in the market? Find those things. Diversify some money into it, do some research before you diversify some money into it, and stay on top of it. You know, watch what's happening in the press release and the trends and stuff like that. I find often when people ask me for quick fixes, how do I lose 30 pounds? How do I double my income? How do I get this hot girl that I want right away? It's like boom, 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 boom. It's like slow the fuck down and do some work, man. Nothing good in your life will come in it easily. You got to do the work. You got to lose some money. You got to fall down and scrape your knees. You got to have your heart broken. You got to try to start at the business that fails and then get back the fuck up and do it again and stop being a pussy and throwing, you know, in the towel and giving up. I've lost a lot of money in investments. I'm not going to lie. My first stupid move was in the 90s. Nortel was a telecommunications company in Canada that was up on the swing. And I bought on the down side of it on a friend's recommendation. I was listening to the wrong person. So also listening to the wrong person, a dummy, is going to cause you to lose money. I lost 10 grand. I think I put in $10,000 and it went down 99%. I was left with like less than $100, and I just kept writing it down. So there's another thing that you got to understand too when it comes to investing is when to cut your losses. I've read investment books. I haven't touched them in years. So again, I tend to buy investments on patterns and growth. Weed stocks were big in Canada. I mentioned that earlier. Here, they're going to be legal weed. You'll be able to go down to the liquor store and buy your Mary J or a prescription, you know, through the mail still, July 1st this year, 2018. But because of the run up to it, and because so many people out there know that recreationally and on, you know, the illegal market, if you want to call it whatever, people have been smoking weed for a long time. They use it for all kinds of reasons. It's not going to go away. And now that it's going to be more publicly available and accepted by people, they're just going to use it more. So there's going to be a run up. It's only natural, which is why I got into that. So I bought into growers, distributors. I bought into a company that does a You know how you have the breathalyzers for people that drink and they plug them into the car in case you've been fined or something like that. Same sort of thing the police use on the side of the road. You got to blow into. I bought into one of those companies. So swing trading or like pattern trading for me is the way that I like to do it. Cryptocurrencies are still on the way up. We've got less than 1% world adoption in the crypto markets. I always have a link in the description below to Coinbase if you want to get involved in that. It's a great place to start. It's super easy. Like, it is the easiest app in the world to use. You pop the bad boy open, you open it up, and off you go. You can go and buy and trade off your credit card immediately. And even though you're paying on the credit card, the rates are still pretty good. Less than 1% adoption around the world on cryptocurrencies. It's going to be used mainstream in the next 5 to 10 years. I guarantee it. The monetary system's completely going to change. The banking system's going to change. People are going to be using this will be their bank. They won't have to deal with a financial institution. They won't have to seek approval. It'll be automatic through the blockchain. So look for opportunities there. And I know everybody always asks me in the comments whenever I talk about crypto, well, which ones do you buy? Which ones do you hold? I don't share my portfolio with you guys because I don't want you to come back to me later on and go, oh, I fucked up and it's all your fault, Rich. If you want to know more of my insights on investments and crypto, become a patron and join the private communities there, and we'll have smaller group discussions about stuff like that. But my take is really just following patterns in the marketplace and riding the waves. I think that's the easiest way to have success when it comes to making your investments turn around for you. Also look for stuff that is going to be used by the public on a larger scale basis. I'll leave you one more example when it came to investing in stocks. So again, for me, it boils down to stocks or, new and upcoming sort of technologies like cryptocurrencies and the blockchain. Those are the two things that I spend most of my time in. I'm probably about 5% in the crypto market, and the rest of it's in my retirement portfolio, which I now manage, by the way. I used to let the bank handle it, and I was getting like a 6, 7, maybe 8% annual return. When I started to understand the way the market works, what would grow, what would swing, dividends, understanding the price earnings ratios and which ones to throw my money into and which ones were going to pay some recurring revenue with dividends that I could reinvest. I think last year we did well over 35, 40%, me and my brother with our, combined work on the stuff. So pay attention. And go out there looking for information and learn for yourself. Ask questions and look for patterns. I mean, use your intuition is what I can say. Operate with red pill awareness and that lens where you understand where people are going to be going. I knew people were going to be buying their weed and marijuana and for medicinal uses at distributors and dispensaries and government-run operations because they're generally safer and they're also more widely accepted. The price points are pretty close. So all of these growers and distributors and, breathalyzers and detection units for the police forces for impaired driving, that's where the growth is. And all you got to do is pay attention to who's running the company. Do they have a track record of success? Understand price earnings ratios. Cut your losses when it's necessary and sell when you've made your profit. One of the things that I still suck at is not selling when I've made a good profit. I had one crypto that I would have probably, I'm going to say, I think it was 18 or 19 times X my money. So 19 to 20 times probably what I put into it, and I didn't fucking sell. You should probably sell when you've made about a 30% return if you're happy with that, depending on what the investment is. And if you start to see it go down and it's not going anywhere and there's a lot of negative press, then don't be afraid to cut your losses and lose 5 or 10% and reinvest in something else. Last thing before I wrap up this investment thing is pay attention to market patterns. Every, let's say 6 to 10 years, usually around the 8-year mark, there's a correction in the stock market, a pretty big correction where shit cools down quite a bit. And we've been on a long run up since 2008, a big long run up. The stock market is overvalued for the most part. So right now, what I've been doing with my positions is I've been selling some of the stuff that's given me a great return. Not all of it, but selling a good portion of the profits. I'm probably going to move it into some lower yield, safer sort of investments like bonds or investment savings accounts that I can through the umbrella of the retirement savings portfolio that we have here in Canada. And then when it corrects, then you slam all that money back in and you buy again. It goes back up. So I don't know. There's a few tips for you there, right there. If you have any more questions around that, let's hop on a call, talk on clarity.fm. All right, thanks for watching today's video. If you'd like to support creation of work on the channel, become a Patreon. Link is below and pinned in the first comment. Or you can also book my time on clarity.fm/Richard Cooper, and you can get one-on-one coaching with me over the phone. Have an amazing day. We'll talk to you later. Peace.